Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulullah wa ba'd. Muslims today have reached the point where we are in need of a great revival. And that is that we need to bring the spirit of Islam and the fundamentals and principles into a relevant, modern usage to bring it to life in the 21st century. And that needs not only the acquisition of knowledge and the memorization of the texts, but it also needs perspective. And when the great scholars of tafsir and hadith and the Islamic sciences wanted to get perspective, they will look at what is called asbab al-nuzul. They will look at the Quran, why was the verses revealed? They will look at the hadith, and they will study the situation surrounding the hadith. This is what we can call today history. The Quran itself gives us encouragement. Allah Azza wa Jal tells us, "Siru fil ard, fanduru kayfa kana aqibatul ladina min qablikum." Travel in the earth and see what happened to those who came before you. And so it is the story of the prophets, qasas al-anbiya. It is the seerah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is the story of the companions radiyallahu anhum. It is this inspiration that has given us guidance and which sets the principles for Islam in living practice. Today in the 21st century with digital technology, it has even become more important for Muslims because other civilizations, especially the Western civilization, with their ability to make what is true seem false and what false seem true, they are now rewriting history. They are now teaching people what they maybe did not even teach their own children. And so it has become important for Muslims in the fact that the history being taught about the East, the Middle East, the lands of Islam, is not in accordance to what we have understood or what has been recorded. We need to tell our own story. And we need to understand what happened to us, what happened to the people around us, to have perspective. That perspective gives us hikmah, wisdom. And wisdom is so important today in implementing Islam and putting into our lives and into our communities a living way of life. And so we need real stories, we need solid information, we need to tell our story and not, as what we would say in America, his story. They say history, but it's really his story. We want our story. We want the story of our people and the story of all the nations, done in an objective way, and not to be Eurocentric, or to be Afrocentric, or to be Indocentric. We need to be Mecca-centric, and to center ourselves with the Anbiya, alayhimus salam, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and then go out. Instead of the Middle East, why don't we look at the movement of Islam from Mecca going into Ethiopia? That is the movement to the near west, al-Maghrib al-Adna, and then going to Egypt and going across, and then going across the Atlantic. This is the far west, al-Maghrib al-Aqsa. And so we need to deconstruct what has been given to us and to put together a proper history which will give the true story of the prophets, the true story of the spread of Islam. We have to tell the truth. When mistakes were made, we have to show these mistakes. We have to learn from our mistakes. Learn from what happened to Muslims who did not follow the Quran and the Sunnah. That when they left the message, they were humiliated. When they followed the message, Allah Azza wa Jal gave them authority in the land. And so we need to take this opportunity now, since we have access to information, we can travel to bring it together and to put it in a way that our younger generation can get the proper perspective and become Mecca-centric, and then have the perspective to practice Islam in the 21st century.